Baby, let me tell y'all something. Ain't nothing in this world that hurts like seeing your own child choose someone else over you. My name's Mae Johnson, and I done lived long enough to see love heal and love tear families apart. I ain't perfect. Lord knows I made my share of mistakes, but I always believed in one thing: family. You raise 'em, you feed 'em, you teach 'em right from wrong, and you pray they remember it when you ain't around no more. But sometimes love got its own way of teaching lessons. I still remember the day my baby girl Denise brought that young man up to my porch. He was tall, polite, brown-skinned, smooth as Sunday coffee, wore a clean shirt, smelled like cologne and hard work. "Mama, this is Malik," she said, smiling wide like she was showing me a treasure. I looked at him and said, Malik who?" He reached his hand out and said, "Nice to meet you, ma'am." I shook it, but something in my spirit just didn't sit right. Not 'cause he was rude, no, baby. He had good manners. It was his eyes. They were quiet, too quiet, like a man who done walked through storms and don't talk about 'em. And I thought, is my baby ready for that kind of man? Weeks passed, and every time she said his name, her eyes lit up like the 4th of July. She'd talk about him cooking, about his jokes, about how safe she felt, and I just listened, nodding, trying to keep my voice steady. But deep down, I didn't trust it yet. One Sunday, she sat me down at the kitchen table, the same table I used to braid her hair at when she was just a little girl. She said, "Mama, I'm gonna marry Malik." My coffee cup started shaking in my hand. "You gonna do what now?" I asked. "I love him, Mama. He treats me right. He respects me." I said, "Respect don't build a home, baby. Respect don't fill your fridge." She looked at me, eyes soft but strong, and said, "Mama, you taught me to follow my heart. Well, I'm following it." That broke me right there, 'cause that's when I realized my little girl wasn't my little girl no more. That night I sat on my porch, fan humming low, lights dim, talking to God. "Lord," I said, "give me wisdom. Don't let me lose my baby over a man." But sometimes even prayer can't stop what's already written. A few months later, they got married. Backyard wedding, fairy lights, people smiling like nothing was wrong. I was there, but my heart wasn't. When she moved out, the house got quiet, too quiet. Even the walls missed her laughter. I tried calling, she'd answer, but short. "We're fine, Mama, just busy." Busy, that word cut deep. She used to tell me every detail of her day, and now all I got was busy. I stopped calling so much, tried to give her space. But space got heavy, baby. It felt like loneliness wearing a Sunday dress. One evening, my old friend Loretta dropped by, carrying sweet tea and nosy wisdom. "May," she said, "you gotta let that child live. You can't protect her from every fall." I sighed. "Loretta, when you see the storm coming, how you just sit and watch a baby walk into it?" She said, "Sometimes you gotta let the rain teach 'em what an umbrella feels like." I laughed through my tears, 'cause she was right, and I hated that she was right. Days passed, nights got longer. I'd stare at that empty hallway, remembering Denise running down it in her school shoes. I'd whisper, "Lord, just keep her safe." I didn't know it then, but the same man I thought would break my daughter's heart would one day save her life. And I, the mother she thought she didn't need no more, would be the one to fix what love almost destroyed. If y'all feel this story deep in your chest, go on and leave me a little heart down below. Hit that like button, baby, 'cause these stories ain't just mine, they ours. And don't forget to subscribe, 'cause Aunt May still got a lot more to say. You see. It didn't take long for the first cracks to show. Malik, he was a good man, don't get me wrong, but life has a way of testing love in ways you don't expect. I remember Denise calling me one night, her voice low, almost whispering. "Mama, we had a fight today. I don't know what to do." I could hear the tension even through the phone. "Baby girl, sit down, take a deep breath. Talk to me," I said. She sniffled. "It's just, he doesn't understand why I feel hurt. I try to explain, but he gets defensive." I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. "Honey, sometimes people love in the only way they know. But you gotta keep your heart soft. Don't let pride push you apart." The days that followed were quiet, almost too quiet. I'd check on her sometimes, bring over groceries, or just sit and listen while she poured her soul out. Malik was good, but stubborn as a mule. He wanted to fix things his way. Denise wanted him to listen. And in the middle, baby, there I was, watching my child struggle with something I knew love could heal if only someone guided him. One evening, I decided to go over. I knocked on the door. Malik opened it, eyes a little guarded. "Mama," Denise said, smiling weakly, "I didn't expect you." I stepped inside. The apartment was small, cozy, but you could feel the tension in the air like a storm about to break. Malik, he didn't say much at first. He just nodded. I smiled. "I ain't here to fight, baby boy. I'm here to help." We sat together, the three of us, and I started talking. Not preaching, not scolding, just talking from my heart. "Listen, Malik, I see how much you love my baby. But love ain't just words. It's patience. It's learning each other's ways, even when it hurts. Denise, she's your wife now, but she's also my baby. And baby, sometimes we all need a little guidance." Malik looked at me, hesitated, then nodded. I could see the relief in Denise's eyes. She reached for my hand, whispered, "Mama, thank you." And baby, right then, I knew something important. My role wasn't over. My job was to be the bridge, not the barrier. The next weeks, I spent more time with them, helping Malik understand her ways, helping Denise find her voice without pushing him away. Every fight became a teachable moment. I'd say, love ain't about who's right, it's about who's willing to listen. And slowly, little by little, I saw changes. Malik would pause before speaking. Denise would explain without tears. One Sunday, we all went to church together. Pastor Elijah noticed the tension, but also the effort. After service, he pulled Malik aside, talked quietly, and when he came back, Malik hugged Denise longer than ever before. I could see my baby girl relax for the first time in weeks. There were nights I stayed up thinking about how easy it would have been to just step back and let pride win. But baby, that ain't me. I love my child too much to sit and watch her marriage crumble without trying. And I could see, sometimes it takes a mother's wisdom, not her anger, to save what love is trying to grow. If y'all ever find yourself in that place, watching someone you love stumble, remember, don't just stand on the sidelines. Speak softly, guide gently, and most importantly, listen. Love is patient, love is kind, and baby, it can heal even the deepest hurt if you let it. Some days, I'd look at Malik and Denise and smile. Not a fake smile, but the kind that comes from knowing you did your part. And I knew no matter what storms came after this, we built a foundation strong enough to weather them together. Aunt May always say, sometimes you gotta get in the middle of the mess to keep the family whole. And baby, it works if you do it with love, not pride. It was a Thursday evening when things hit their peak. Denise called me, voice trembling so bad I could hear her trying not to cry. "Mama, I don't know if I can do this anymore," she whispered. My heart sank. "Baby girl, tell me what happened," I said softly. She took a deep breath. "Malik, he yelled at me today, said things he didn't mean, but it hurt so bad. I feel like maybe I made a mistake." I closed my eyes and prayed silently. "Listen, honey, everyone gets angry. Everyone says things they don't mean sometimes. But the key is, what happens after? Do we let it stay there or do we work it out?" She sniffled. "I'm scared, Mama. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want him to see me cry." I knew then I had to go over. No excuses, no waiting. I grabbed my keys, told Loretta where I was going, and drove over to their apartment. When I arrived, I found Malik sitting on the couch, head in his hands, and Denise curled up in the corner. I didn't scold, didn't judge, I just sat down and said, "Y'all, listen to me. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm here to help you both see each other." Malik looked up, shame in his eyes. "Ma'am, I didn't mean to hurt her," he said quietly. Denise's arms were crossed, but her eyes were softening. I spoke slowly. "Love, it's not about who's wrong or right. It's about who's willing to fix it together. Malik, you gotta hear her heart. Denise, you gotta let him see yours. Pride don't build a home, baby girl, but understanding does." For an hour we talked. Not arguments, not blame, just truth. Malik shared his fears, his struggles, why he reacts certain ways. Denise shared her insecurities, her longing for connection, her pain when she feels unheard. And I listened, guided, reminded them that love is work, and work is worth it if it's done with patience and respect. After the talk, something shifted. Malik stood up, walked over to Denise, and took her hands in his. "I don't want to lose you. I'm sorry," he said. She nodded, tears falling, and whispered, "I don't want to lose you either." Baby, I felt that moment deep in my chest. That's when I realized this fight almost ended their love, but with a little guidance, it became stronger. Over the next few weeks, I stayed close, not pushing, just present. Dinner visits, small talks, reminders that mistakes don't mean failure. They laughed again, held hands, and even bickered in that loving way that tells you things are healable. I watched and smiled, proud but also humbled. It wasn't me who saved them, babe. It was love. I just helped them remember it. Some nights I'd sit on my porch and think, if I hadn't stepped in, where would they be? Sometimes life gives you a choice. Stand back and watch, or step forward and risk being seen as meddling. I chose to step forward, and baby, that choice made all the difference. If y'all listening ever feel powerless when someone you love struggles, remember this. Sometimes the right words at the right moment can save a heart. Sometimes your presence, just sitting there, can heal more than lectures ever could. Love don't always come easy, but it comes strong when nurtured. That week ended with them holding each other close, whispering apologies, promises, and dreams. I left that night with my heart full, knowing that love,
even when tested, can grow if we don't give up. And baby, Aunt May knows the hardest battles often bring the sweetest victories.
It took a few more days, but the change was real. Denise and Malik, they were talking more, laughing a little easier, and even sitting together quietly without tension hanging over them. But I knew in my heart, baby, the real work wasn't done until they faced the truth of why they'd almost fallen apart. One evening, I called them over to my house. "I want y'all to sit down with me," I said. We sat in the living room, lights low, soft hum of the fan above us. I looked at Denise, then Malik, and said, "I know love brought y'all together, but love alone don't keep a marriage safe. Y'all gotta see each other, hear each other, and forgive each other." Malik nodded. "Ma'am, I want to do right by her. I really do." Denise squeezed his hand. "I know you do, but sometimes I feel like we're worlds apart." I leaned in, voice gentle but firm. "Baby girl, marriage isn't about living in the same world. It's about meeting each other halfway. Malik, you meet her halfway and she'll meet you there too. Don't let pride steal the love y'all built." Then I did something I don't do often. I shared my story. I told him about my mistakes, the fights I had with my husband years ago, how I learned the hard way that love don't fail because of mistakes. It fails when you stop trying. Their eyes softened, baby. I could see understanding starting to bloom where hurt had lived. We sat there for hours. Malik held Denise close, whispered apologies, and I reminded them, every fight is a lesson. Every tear is teaching y'all something. Don't let the lesson go to waste. By the end of the night, there was laughter, soft smiles, and a feeling of hope that hadn't been there before. Over the next few weeks, I kept checking in. Not too much, not too little. Just enough to remind them that love takes work and guidance. Denise started letting Malik in when she felt hurt instead of bottling it up. Malik started listening more before reacting. And baby, I saw something powerful. Two people learning to truly see each other, and a mother who finally felt her child safe again. One Sunday, we all went to church together. Pastor Elijah noticed a change immediately. After service, he pulled Malik aside and spoke quietly. Malik came back, hugged Denise tighter than ever before, and whispered, "I won't let us fall again." She smiled through tears, whispering, "I know, I know." I watched, chest full, heart feeling the kind of pride that ain't loud but deep. I realized that night, baby, the real power of love isn't just in the hearts of the couple. It's in the patience, the guidance, the wisdom shared by those who care. Sometimes it's a mother's heart that saves a marriage without anyone even realizing it. I stepped back and let them walk home hand in hand, and I whispered to God, "Thank you for letting me help. Thank you for protecting them." And baby, that's when I knew the hardest part had passed, and love, real love, was stronger than ever. It wasn't easy, baby. Not at first. There were nights I sat alone, thinking if I had done too much or not enough. But I kept reminding myself, love ain't easy, but it's worth fighting for. Denise and Malik, they learned that the hard way. But when you see the change, when you see hearts soften, when laughter comes back after tears, you know every bit of effort mattered. One evening, they came over to my house. I saw 'em walking together, hand in hand, eyes bright, smiles real. Denise looked at me and whispered, "Mama, I get it now. I get what you were trying to do. Thank you for never giving up on us." Malik nodded.
Ma'am, you saved us. You helped me be a better husband, a better man. Baby, my chest swelled with pride and relief. We sat together in the living room talking about dreams, about the future, about what had almost torn them apart. I told him, the world's gonna try to pull you apart sometimes. Life will test you. But the key is stand together, fight together, forgive together. That's the only way love survives. Denise rested her head on Malik's shoulder. Mama, I promise we'll never let pride come between us again. Malik kissed her forehead, whispered, I promise too. And baby, right there in that moment, I felt a kind of peace I ain't felt in years. Later that night, I stepped onto my porch, fan humming, lights low, and I just sat there, thinking about the journey from fear, heartbreak, almost losing my baby girl, to seeing love survive and thrive. And I realized sometimes the heaviest burdens we carry, the moments that break our hearts, are the very ones that shape us, teach us, and save us. I thought about the nights I cried silently, praying for their hearts, wondering if they'd ever see each other clearly. I thought about the fights, the tension, the pain that almost ended what love had started. And I knew now it wasn't the fights that mattered. It was how we faced them, how we chose love over pride, guidance over anger, patience over pain. If y'all out there listening, remember this. Love don't fail because people make mistakes. Love fails when we stop fighting for it. Love survives when hearts stay open, when wisdom guides us, when forgiveness flows freely. And baby, a mother's heart sometimes is the strongest force in the world. As I watched them leave that night, walking side by side, I whispered to God, Thank you. Thank you for letting me save what mattered most. And I smiled, 'cause baby, I knew the love we fought to protect was stronger than ever, unbreakable, real, and alive. And that's the truth, baby. Love, guidance, patience. Sometimes it takes all three to save a heart, a marriage, a family. But when it works, it's more powerful than anything you'll ever feel.